hauntedplayground.com, latalkradio.com. Don't forget to email me and let me know what you think of the show. If you're looking for me online, it's so easy. It's at hauntedplayground.com. I'm at Sheena Metal everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, my elderly Pinterest page. I'm sure more things are coming, but I don't have Snapchat because I'm too busy to put bunny ears on myself. But maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should do Snapchat and put a wizard hat on every day. Maybe that's what I should do. Also, I'm the founder of a movement of peace, love, kindness, and unity. I am raisingthevibration.com is our movement site, and raisingthevibration.org is our movement's nonprofit site. I am also a psychic medium and a spiritual counselor, and I have a practice that's at IamRaisingYourVibration.com and at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. And soon Sheena Metal Spiritual will be built up and beautiful and amazing. And the good news is I'm probably going to do it myself, because if you want something done right, you do it yourself and you put lots of love into it. And that's kind of where I'm at with everything in my life right now. And I'm not sure if those of you out there experiencing that with the end of this Saturn return, but boy, am I ever. I'm also an interfaith minister. I'm the New Age pastor at the Founders MCC Church in Hollywood, and I do a monthly interfaith service the second Saturday of every month, and it's called Saturday Night Spiritual. And my next one is October 12th. Please come. If you can't, because you're not in Los Angeles, you can watch it online. We broadcast it live around the world. My special guest is the wonderful Carolyn Hennessy, and Angelica Perman, who's one of our light workers here, is doing the opening prayer and the sound bath. Did you like how I just picked up my brush and threw it in my bag? That and the headphones stopped working the minute the show started. I had to switch them out while I talk. So we're doing all kinds of MacGyver stuff here. We're MacGyvering the hell out of this morning. And it's not even morning, but for me, noon is morning. Please come out to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's always a great service. I do a blessing. You can bring anything you want and I'll bless it. And it's awesome. These broadcasts, when I have the psychic readings, the spiritual healings, the free counseling, the free energetic work, all of that here on the air, I call it Light Workers Unite. And we're at welightworkersunite.com. And, you can go and look at all of our past broadcasts there, or most of them. Sometimes it takes me a while to get them all up, but they're there for you to watch. I also do 2 really cool broadcasts from my bed at home. I'm building a little TV studio in my back room. So until that happens, I'm sitting on my bed with the cat, people. I am raising your vibration. Some of them are called. Mostly those happen during the day. And at night, we do a nighttime version of this on Facebook called Haunted Playground After Dark. And by we, I mean me. It's just me and the cat. Does that count as we? If the cat's involved, is it we? And same thing. We do free readings. And we did one last night. We did an I Am Raising Your Vibration last night till about 11 o'clock Pacific, and it was fun. Friday, I did a 3-hour Haunted Playground After Dark. I had to cut myself off at 2 hours because I had to be somewhere at 11 o'clock because that's my life. What else? I have 2 wonderful spiritual paranormal web series. One is with Patty Negri from Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures. We're at wearelivingwiththedead.com. Of course, Belle the Haunted Doll is there. And one is with the wonderful Carolyn Hennessy from General Hospital and True Blood and 1,400 other things. It's at wearealtered.com, altered like a church altar. And my last thing is I'm now teaching webinars for those of you around the world that want to benefit from my classes a little bit. I have an empath class at whydoifeeleverything.com, a narcissist awareness class at starvethedark.com. And this Friday, launching a brand new crystal healing workshop where you can learn how crystals can help you with cleansing, grounding, connecting, uplifting, healing, balancing, empowering, protecting, endearing, and harmonizing. Not with your singing. Maybe a little bit with your singing. You know, I never thought about that. Probably also with your singing. I take that back. And that's at meetthecrystals.com. It's called I Never Met a Crystal I Didn't Like. You can tell this is my first time speaking today because, again, it's my morning. I'm sorry. I was up till like 4 a.m. working last night after my broadcast. So please take one or all of those. They're $20. I like to keep them inexpensive because I really want to have more people be able to enjoy them. and have more people at a lower price. So please sign up for those if you would like. And my Good Vibrations crystals are cleansed and blessed and charged and ready for purchase. So you may also purchase those if you want. And the things I just mentioned that crystals are good for, I have a set for every one of those. So you can email me, Sheena at IamRaisingYourVibration.com. I'm also available for private sessions, and you can email me, or you can always text me, which is the number I'm going to give you right now, which is how you get a free reading today, 818-437-0886. That's 818-437-0886. That's the number. That's the number, my friends. That's how you get a reading today. 818-437-0886 goes right here to my private cell. Not kidding you. It's not in a case yet because it's got issues. This thing's a little soft in the head, so it's going back and being replaced by one just like it. But the one just like it will have a case. I didn't want to put it in the case and then not be able to get it out of the case. I also have a new phone. I'm going to have two, so you'll see two here soon, because one's just not enough when you're giving your phone out on the air. And I put the other one in the case yesterday because I thought I was getting it all set up. And man, you put it in the case and you're like, oh, I'm never getting it out of this case. It is like stuck in there forever. That's why we haven't done it with this one yet, because this bad boy's got to go back home because it's not right in the head. But it gets me through until now, and I'm loving that story. So again, if you want a free reading, 818-437-0886, send me a text. It's 818-437-0886. I'm going to go online now. We're going to put the link around. I've got some folks waiting. So we'll get some folks up and waiting, and that's fun. And some folks were emailing me last night wanting to get on. So yay and yay. So we're going to get Nicole on first. And let me get her all ready to go, and we'll get her called. And then we'll start putting the link around so more folks can join us. Last week, I also do this from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Sheena Metal Experience. Last week on the Sheena Metal Experience, 4,700 plus views. We had 129 people in the chat room at one time. No, we had 229 people in the chat room at one time. We had 229 people crammed in there at one time because people come and they go and they come and they go. So obviously over the course of the 2 hours, we had 4,700 and some people in there. Just people wanting free readings, healings. So if you're watching today, share it on your page. Share it with your friends. Let's grow the healing circle. And if you're in the chat today, make a friend and participate in what's going on. And when I say let's throw some healing light or some love to somebody, do it. You do it too. The more we participate in this, the more the vibrational energy grows, the more we help each other, and the more beautiful life is, because we need more beautiful things in life and less sucky things. That's my big spiritual quote for the day. More cool stuff, less sucky shit. There we go. You can quote that and stick my name on it if you want. Yeah, that's it. More cool stuff, less sucky shit. I might say that all throughout this show today because it's been that kind of a morning for me. It's been a very introspective morning for me. And I think it's because as you change, and I've done a lot of growing and a lot of changing this year, as you change, things in your life change and people in your life change. And some people react beautifully to changes that you make. Some people don't react beautifully to changes that you make. So it just completely depends on the situation, how you're growing, and how people around you are growing. So it's something to think about, to not get freaked out when you're changing, when you see things around you changing, because it's perfectly normal. And it just is what it is, my friends. It's a very energetically balanced and imbalanced world, depending on what part of the world you're in and who you're dealing with in the world. It's either a very balanced or a very unbalanced energy. And when you have people in your life that have a very unbalanced energy and you're working to get balanced, then oftentimes what happens is those people freak out, leave your life, something goes on. And also there's a terrible, terrible problem in this world. And this just probably should be one of my Saturday night spiritual sermons. And it's called ego. And ego is an ugly thing. And I don't really understand what ego is, because for all the ways that I'm cat-like, I'm very dog-like in the sense that when I love somebody, when I like you, I just want to jump in and let's all have a good time and do stuff and, make some art and work together and be a family. I find that people have a hard time with that. And it's usually about ego. And sometimes somebody will come and they'll participate with me for a while in something, and then they'll sort of be like, well, I don't know, it's your thing, and it's your thing, and why is it always about you? It's your thing. Well, it's not my thing, it's our thing. If I ask you to participate in something with me, it's our thing. Now, keep in mind, I'm the one that has to make sure the thing is happening. I'm the one that has to keep the thing going and keep the lights on, so to speak. I'm the one that has to make sure that there's a place here at LA Talk Radio for us all to play. That obligation and that stress is on me. And I'm the one who has to make sure that all the technical stuff is taken care of. And I'm the one that has to make sure that people are watching, because I don't want to do a live broadcast for 4 people. I would, and I would love all 4 of you. But why, if we can do a live broadcast for 4,700, should we do a live broadcast for 4 if there's work I can do to bring more people in? And I'm always happy to do that work, to be the one who puts the there and the there, who makes the thing, who brings the audience, who does the technical stuff. So you don't have to. But then I think people feel like that puts them out of control, or how come it's not more about me? Or look, I love to go sit in with other people, and I do it every chance I get. Go sit in with friends, other places. Someone else does everything. I just have to sit there and be a guest, whether I'm being very spiritual and I'm giving advice, or I'm, giving wisdom and inspiration to people, or whether I'm just there as a radio host and I'm just being a cut up and being funny. It doesn't matter. I love to have that pressure taken off me so that I can do whatever I want. However, I'm perfectly happy to do the work and deal with the pressure if that's how it's supposed to be and that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm happy to do that too. Either way, I'm good. So, but I do find that there is definitely a bizarre ego that I have never quite understood in people, where they want you to help them. And you've probably all encountered this in your lives. They want you to help them and they want you to include them. But then when you help them and when you include them, then at some point it's your fault. And I think I've reached a point in my life where I don't want to deal with that energy anymore. And I think you should all reach that same point in your life where you say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this energy. I don't want it to all be my fault. If I'm the one putting the there and the there, and I'm the one helping, then we should all be working together. And I've even started to notice that as we're now May, June, July, August, September, October, 6 months into my live broadcast from my bed, that I started because I couldn't come here to LA Talk Radio because my knees were so bad. And I've started to notice now that there's so many folks in there that want readings. And if people are in there and they're not getting a reading, they start to get angry. And there's no reason to be angry, everybody. There's time for everybody. I will get to everybody. Obviously, on every single broadcast, I can't read every single person. But I do 4 broadcasts a week, and each one is at least 2 hours, 2 here and 2 on my bed. That's a lot of free readings, a lot more than a lot of other light workers would do. Everybody's going to get something. But it's a strange energy in people. And I talked to you about this, 1, because I think I'm still trying to figure it out. And 2, because I think you're probably dealing with the same thing in your lives. You're probably dealing with that same thing of, what in the world? All I did was go out of my way to be nice to this person, that person, this person. And this sort of weirdness is what I'm getting in return. And I think that everything that happens to us, and because I've chosen to make my life very public and let y'all know on all my stuff, because I hope it's helping people. I think it's important for us to learn from what's going on with all of us. And if you guys can learn from some weird stuff that's gone on with me, then my work is done. So this is a weird thing. This is a journey I have dealt with this year, and in different aspects with different folks in different ways. I've dealt with the malignant narcissist that moves into your friend group and then decides they want all your friends for themselves, and they'll shit talk or say or do anything or bribe people or whatever it is just to get people with them and against you. That's a very strange mentality, especially for me, for a peacemaker like me, who even times when I want to walk up to somebody and say, yeah, that was a dick move, I don't, because I don't want the ramifications of the negative energy of that argument hanging over my life. So I breathe and I call one of my best friends and I say, oh, holy crap, that was a dick move. And we laugh. And then I find a way to approach it with the knowledge of this person, but still staying friendly and keeping everything cool. And also because I worry about what it does to the people who get stuck in between us. That's another thing. What about the people? How do the people suffer that get stuck in between when they think two friends are fighting? So I've dealt with that this year. That's a charming energy. And then I've dealt with this really bizarre thing of people really wanting to get involved in my spiritual world as I've grown as a spiritual practitioner and really hit the ground running full force this past year and some, until I did hit the ground running. And then it was like, oh, well, now I feel threatened by you. And then I don't even understand, because let me tell you something. If you come and do my show, and I've had some very, very big celebrities in here doing my show, and I have many celebrities that are friends, and I love them. I don't sit around and think like, oh, well, when Carolyn Hennessy does my show, do more people like her than like me, or more people paying it? I hope so. Because guess what? When more people are paying attention to my guest, it looks good for me. It looks good for the show. It's great for the numbers. It's great for LA Talk Radio. And it's great all around energy. So I hope you come here and sit with me. And you're so huge and so amazing. And you have so many people. I had a girl in here a couple of weeks ago that my friends Paul and Patrick brought in, who's a Disney Channel star. And I looked at this girl's Instagram, and she's got like 500,000 followers. And she's a lovely, lovely kid. And I loved having her in here. I wasn't like, oh, do more people like that 12-year-old girl than like me? I do not understand that. I want you to come and bring your stuff. I want you to be a success. Every one of you that's in the chat room right now watching and listening to LA Talk Radio, I want you all to be a success. I hope every one of you gets more successful, more famous, more rich, more prosperous, more happy, more healthy than I could ever be. If everybody could be as happy, as healthy, as prosperous, as wealthy, as balanced, as successful as they dreamed, wouldn't the world be a wonderful place? So yeah, go for it. I don't put myself in competition with anybody. I don't believe in that. But man, let me tell you, in the best year of my life, where I feel like I'm really where I belong, and my poor wonderful boss at LA Talk Radio, that poor guy, I think sometimes he's like, what happened to Sheena? Because I made a big switch since my mom died over the last 3 years, and a huge one the last year. And he's been so great about just every time I send him an email, I'm like, I'm right where I belong. 4,700 views last week. How did that happen? I'm right where I belong. When you get right where you belong, the universe opens up and it gives you everything that you want. But in this year, what has been the best and the most wonderful for me, man, have I lost a lot of people in my life who are just not okay with me just feeling like I want to just spread my wings and soar. And I had this talk with myself last night and this morning and on the drive over here, and I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it, and now I have. So, wow, what a shock. And it's really made me sort of reevaluate my priorities to get to the place that I hope you all get to, that I thought maybe I would never get to, here's where I am right now. My mama used to say, my Scorpio mother, God love her Irish heart, used to say, you're either with me or you're against me. And I used to think that was so polarized, that how can she be like that? That was when I had the backbone of a marshmallow peep. But I think she was on to something. Maybe not so black and white, mama, but I think she was on to something. So I'm in a place in my life right now where, look, I don't care if you're against me. That's some Scorpio talk and I love it, but it's not for me. Um Either you're with me or you're not with me. And if you're not with me, then okay, you don't need to be with me. But you can move out of my circle so that you stop being an antagonizing thing that's not with me. You know what I mean? If look, when my gallbladder started acting up, no offense to my gallbladder, but that had to go. I didn't keep it in my body and like every day. Oh my God, it's making me vomit, but I won't get rid of it. I was like, how fast can you suck this thing out? It's kind of how I'm feeling about some energy in my life right now. You're either with me or you're not with me. And if you're not with me, then you're not with me. And I should put this quote up. Maybe I'll make this meme this week. I'll make myself a note to make this meme. I'll do it right now. This is one of my favorite things that I say all the time. If people don't get you, they don't get you. And that's the bottom line. If you know what I mean? If you don't get what I'm about and you don't get who I am, then you don't get me in your life. And I'm writing this down right now so I don't forget, because we know I have the attention span of a hummingbird. And by 2:00 today, I won't even remember what I just said today. Yeah, if people don't get you, they don't get you. And that's their loss. And and I preach that all the time. But then I have trouble in my life applying it. And I think I've just finally gotten to the place where I don't have that problem. So I wish me luck and I wish you luck. But things to think about. Keep your ego out of it, people. Ego's ridiculous. It's it's funny, all the things that traditional religion talks about being the devil. And one of the things they don't talk about being the devil is ego. And I think ego is a kind of devil in a way. Good ego, healthy ego, thinking you're a cool person, liking yourself, but wanting other people around you to not do well, so it's all about you, and not ever wanting anyone to surpass your success or fame or whatever it is people worry about. I don't understand any of it. Don't even understand what any of it means. Somebody said to me once, I don't understand what that is or means. And it's kind of how I feel about ego. So we're going to get Nicole on the phone with us now, and I probably should text her and let her know that she's next, because I've been sitting here chit-chatting for so long, and I see others of you there that want to get on, and we'll get you on. If you want a free reading, 818-437-0886. I guess it's 818-437-0886, and I guess it probably would be nice if I put this link around. I'm sitting here talking and preaching, and it's like, shut up. I took a class on Saturday, the membership class to officially join my church. I figured if I was a pastor, I should probably become an actual church member. And this lovely, fantastic pastor was teaching it. And he would ask me things, and I would just chat on and on. I was like, oh God, am I preaching? I should just shut up. I'm taking this class. So, when you get used to helping people, it's hard not to help people all the time. But sometimes maybe people don't want my help because it's a lot. So, all right, we're going to get Nicole on with us, and she is in our system. If you want to get in our system and get a reading, it's so easy. It's just 818-437-0886. That's 818-437-0886. And I see you all that want readings, and I will get to you as soon as I get Nicole on the line. So here we go. The Skype dance. We're going to do it. We're going to sing the Skype song together.
Hello.
Hello. I'm sorry, Nicole. I was in the middle of singing the Skype song. And there you are. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm fantastic. Just wonderful.
That's good to hear.
What's on your mind, my friend?
Doing good and everything?
Oh, much better. And I'm almost done with the cane, which is wonderful. And doing much better. The electrolytes seem to actually be balancing, and all is right with my world.
Awesome. Good to hear. Well, lately I've been finding a few feathers, not just tiny ones too. They're like really big feathers
Mhm.
when I go for my walks.
Mhm.
And last night, you know how when the mirror steams up and then you could put your handprints on there
Mhm.
and you can see your handprints and
Mhm.
everything?
Mhm.
I got out of the shower and there's three handprints on my mirror.
Oh. Okay.
And they weren't my son's. He's too tiny, and I, I was in the shower. So my question is, who's giving me these signs, and what are they trying to tell me?
Well, I mean, I think that you are being visited, and that's, I think that you've done a lot of invitational work to invite stuff in,
Mhm.
and now that's sort of happening. You're being visited by spirits that are coming in for different reasons. I think some of them are coming in to show you something. I think the ones on the mirror are actually looking for help. And I think you're going to find now with this, with your opening up and with your inviting this in, that you're going to have two sets of stuff. You're going to have spirit guides around, you're going to have guiding spirits around, you're going to have, angels around, making sure that you're okay through this transition. But you're also
Mhm.
going to find that you're going to have, um, you know, folks around looking for help, because now you've sort of thrown your shingle out. And when that happens energetically, spirits come in and start looking for help. So my advice to you is, sweetheart, first and foremost, make sure you're protected and make sure your house
Yes.
is protected. Because if you're getting visited, then you always have to make sure that you protect yourself, and that you also let folks know, look, I'm happy to help you, but I do have office hours. So, don't
Yes.
come crawl in my bed at 4 in the morning and leave my son alone, and all the other things that are so important to let people know. So,
Yes.
just like you would if you actually had you were a doctor and you had a practice in your house, you'd be like, look, don't come to my house at midnight. You know what I mean? Don't show up after
Yeah.
somebody shoots you and your gunshot wound, and bring all your strange criminal friends. I mean, there's limits. So I think that's really important, and I think that it's important for you to acknowledge that they're there, because sometimes if you don't acknowledge that they're there, then the weird stuff happens, like the handprints on the mirror. They don't know that they're there,
Yeah.
and
No,
they're
I
trying to get.
definitely I didn't feel scared or anything when I seen the handprints, but it was more and less like confusion. Like,
Sure.
okay, well, I know I didn't do them. I know my son didn't do them. So, and I go Goodwill hunting all the time. So I bring stuff in from
Of
Goodwill and
course.
all of that. So I wasn't sure if I brought something in
No, I think
or
you're
what.
pretty good about cleaning what comes in from.
Yes.
I mean, I think you're really good about energetically cleansing stuff you bring in. And Nicole brings up a great point. Everybody, if you're gonna bring stuff into your house, um, make sure that you energetically
Cleanse it.
cleanse it, because you don't know where it's been, you don't know who's had it, and things can get funky. So
Mhm.
just so you know, clean, clean, clean. You can never clean things too much. Literally and spiritually, you can never cleanse too much. Um, yeah. So I think that is definitely a part of it. Um, but I think you've done a really good job of cleansing things that you bring in. I don't think that's the problem at all. I think what this is about is it's about rumor has
Maybe.
spread through the spiritual neighborhood that you're a helper and a healer, and everybody's showing up to see what's up, and they think that you're not noticing them when they're around. So then they're like, "Oh, well, what if she sees this handprint?" They're just
Oh yeah.
trying to get your attention. And
Okay.
so you might just want to have a sit down, maybe when you're burning a candle or you're doing some sage or you're doing a little ritual or whatever you're doing, just have a little sit down and let it, okay, everybody, I know you're here, and we're well aware of that, and everything's okay. And it's nice to see you all, you know.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Okay. I just realized too, past week I've been lighting a candle for people that have passed that on that day. So I think that's one thing that kind of
Right.
opened up that door.
Of course. And then when you're doing that, then they think, oh, well, wait a minute. Is she going to light one when I passed? I passed. It's kind of like humans. It's like you open up and say you're doing free readings, and the next thing you know, there's like so many people around looking to get readings. And that's a good thing. It's good when there's that many people around and everybody wants a reading. But the hard thing
No-
is that you can't help
the
everybody, and you can't help every spirit in the world.
yeah. The feathers though, are those my spirit guides or just family that has
Yeah,
passed?
feathers are usually guiding spirits or family that is passed. Yeah,
Okay.
and
Uh,
occasionally it's angels, but in your case, I don't think it is.
Yeah, because a couple of them, two of them were gray and then one was black. So I know the
Okay.
black one came from a crow because I've been feeding the crows.
Oh, good. Well, and crows are such harbingers of messages. I mean, crows and ravens are
Yeah,
just 100%
I'm just
harbinger.
I just love crows and ravens, and I mean, I've had hawks come visit me, I've had owls come visit me, so I know I'm very open and very spiritual, and I've always wanted to be able to help those in need, may it be spirit or human. So
Beautiful.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited to be opening up this chapter of my
I
life.
was going to say this must thrill you because this is really your thing is
Yes,
um is helping people and getting messages out and wanting to be there to be in service to all these spirits. Spirits particularly is your thing.
yes.
So this you should be thrilled.
I'm ecstatic, but I was just so confused at the moment because, I mean, I wasn't scared or anything, and that's what kind of threw me off was did I cleanse something wrong and bring something in,
No.
or
No, if
okay,
if you brought something awful in, it wouldn't be a handprint, you know? It would
yeah.
it would be something a little more intense than a handprint.
Well, I've got the house pretty much spiritually locked down, so
Yeah. Good.
nothing bad can come in here.
Good. Good. That's good. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so nothing
that's
bad has come in, but sometimes things that are just eager come in. And they don't
okay.
really fall under the category of bad, so they're not quite sure. They're like, "But we're not bad. You said bad and we're not bad. We're just coming to visit, but we're not bad, see?" Because
Yeah,
they just want to come
yeah,
in and be a
no,
part of what you're doing in the worst way, sweetheart. And
yeah.
get help. They're really seeking help.
If I meditate and stuff, will I be able to contact them better so I can figure out what it is they need help with?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, but I don't think there's any reason that you can't contact them in your waking life. I mean, I think that you've grown strong enough now that there's no reason why you can't just sit down and have a conversation with them. If it helps you, if it makes you feel better to be in a meditative state, then fantastic, but it's definitely not necessary. Um it's it's perfectly it's perfectly okay for you just to sit down and have a talk with them.
Perfect.
They can
Okay.
handle that and you can handle that.
Yeah, I could definitely handle that.
That's I mean that's exciting, I think.
I'm definitely excited about this. This is something that, for some reason, I've always been drawn to the spirit world and everything. And then to actually know that there's spirits out there that actually have messages that they need to get across to loved ones, like
Right.
what better privilege would it be in life to be able to pass those messages on to their loved ones?
Of course, and that's really where you live. I mean, that's really what you love.
Hmm. I love helping,
Yeah,
just helping in general, maybe spirits, um, children, animals. Like that's just, I know that's what I'm meant to be.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now, are you harnessing your spirit guides, your animal spirit guides? Because we all
I
have animals that follow us too.
I did not know I had animals following
Oh, everybody has
me.
animals, sure.
What animals do I have?
Um, you have a hawk. If you ever see feathers that are reddish,
Do I see what?
if you ever see a feather that's got a reddish, you have a you have
No.
a you have a hawk spirit guide, and there is a red-tailed hawk. This is probably a red-tailed hawk because that's what's being shown to me right now is the hawk with the red. Um,
I've I've had hawks come and visit me, that's for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, and when you
I've ha
drive, watch out your windows because sometimes hawks that are your guides will come and fly right next to you.
yeah, okay.
I had one when I was in
D
that really toxic relationship, like, everywhere I went, every time I was on the freeway, this hawk would be just flying next to me all the
mhm.
time, and it would become a thing because it was always there, and after I got out of that relationship, I never saw that hawk again. So sometimes
Oh,
they, not
wow.
all spirit guides are with you forever. Some come in for a reason, like people, right? A reason, a season, or a lifetime. Sometimes people they come
Yeah,
in for a reason, and then um they go,
okay.
and that's okay. Um and okay, hang on. We're You also have a fox that follows you.
Okay.
So look up the Native American or the spiritual, the animal totem spirituality for both of them.
Okay. So the hawk and a
And a
fox.
fox. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Have you ever seen a fox?
I've never seen a fox.
Okay. A fox has interesting spirituality. Really, foxes are interesting. They're sort of like an underserved, animal spirit totem because everybody automatically goes to the obvious. And and I'm so lame. I have a wolf and an eagle. It's so obvious, but I didn't know I had either of those until they presented themselves to me one each year that I went to Sedona. I had no idea that I
Oh,
had
wow.
I know that, and that animals are very excuse me, animals. Hello. I know that elephants are very much a totem for me. And I think I was I thought I was an elephant in another life. I really believe I was because I can look at an elephant and I can feel what it felt like to be in that body. So I guess I just assumed that was my animal totem. And then of course cats because I use cats in my work all the time and my cats have always helped me with my spiritual practice. My own cats. So I collect
Yeah.
cat things like Egyptian cats and bast and I always assumed that cat was my other one. So wow, look at my surprise when it turned out that it was this wolf and this eagle. So when I saw the white wolf in Sedona, and the next year I saw the American bald eagle, um,
That's
literally like
crazy.
staring at me, like in my face. So, and then my mother's was hummingbird, and I never saw hummingbirds. I mean, except around her, they were always around her. I never saw hummingbirds until she died, and now I see them all the time. And dragonfly was another one of hers, and I never saw dragonflies until she died.
Oh,
And
wow.
now particularly right now there's this dragonfly, and whenever I'm coming home and pulling into my garage, it like literally gets like almost on the windshield, and it won't it's like
Oh,
or,
wow.
or I'm walking to my car and walking to my garage and it like buzzing in my face. And that's what the hummingbirds have been doing too. And it's interesting. Usually when I have a guest here, it doesn't happen as much when I'm by myself. When I have a guest here, then the hummingbird will come up and right outside the window, and we're 4 stories up, and they don't normally go up that high. But
Yeah.
I never saw that till my mom died. So sometimes you can sort of inherit somebody else's because they're around you, so you see them in the form of what their animals were.
Okay.
Interesting. I mean, I guess it would be weird if an elephant like hovered 4 stories up here outside my window. Maybe it's easier to have the bird, but
Yeah, that would be a little odd.
that would be the most awesome thing ever. So you're in good shape, sweetheart, and you just have to just protect yourself and be careful because
Okay.
I know that you're really uh I know that you're really eager to get into this, and I want to
Yes.
make sure that as you do um you're careful because sometimes you can, you can just you can move too fast. And
Yeah.
I only say that as a warning to everybody, not just to you, sweetie, but to everybody listening, that we all want to get right into it right away, but sometimes you have to be a little careful. So you take care of you, sweetheart. You're in good shape, and
Thank
I'm
you
with
so
you
much,
every
Sheena.
step of the way. Whatever you need, I'm here. And I'm going to say this to everybody today. You should take my crystal class on Friday because I think with as into stones as you are and as much as you use them in your work, it will be very beneficial to you. So you may hear me say that more than once today to people, but for Nicole, for sure, I know because she's so stone centric. Thank you for the call, sweetheart. Thanks for being first. It's always hard to be first because we know the first call is the hardest. Yeah, it's always hard to be the first one. I admire anyone who is the first one. So we're going to get Debbie on with us now. If you want to come on with us, it's so easy. It's just 818-437-0886. Send me a text message and I will get you on the air, my friends. Debbie, welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
I'm glad. It's so good to have you here. Nice to hear from you.
Well, I've been here before once when you
I
had Alex
know.
on the show.
I know, right? Who who was on the show when you called before?
Alex, he was the one who gave me
Alex.
the suggestion to try one of those bar
Yes.
classes or whatever.
Yes. He's lovely. Alex May. What a sweetheart.
Yes, he is.
So how are you, my friend? What's on your mind? And I'm flying solo today. So what's on your mind and
Yes.
how may I help you?
Well, you saw the text I sent you at first, right, about the incident?
Oh, no, I didn't. So why don't you tell us on the air?
Okay, well, I don't remember exactly how many years ago.
Okay.
Came home from my parents to the group home I was living in, semi-independent. And what happened was I was completely alone in the house. Nobody was there. They were all out with their family for
Okay.
Christmas.
Okay.
House was locked up tight. I had locked my bedroom door at night just due to I was a girl in a house full of guys.
Sure.
Fair enough, right? And I'm laying there missing my Grandpa Lejean.
Uh-huh.
And next thing I know, I whisper out loud, "I miss you, Grandpa." And I was pretty close with him. And next thing I know, I'm getting a hug as I'm laying in bed, and I'm completely alone. And I've always wondered, was it him or somebody else in the family that was just comforting me?
Yeah, it was absolutely him. Yeah, and this is what I talk to folks about a lot. Is your radio on in the background, sweetie? I'm hearing.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, turn
I
that
have it
down.
on low.
I didn't know if we had spirits. Turn that down for me, would you? Because it's for some reason I'm hearing that more than
Yeah,
I'm hearing you. Um,
there we go.
um, yeah, I think people underestimate and undervalue how easy it is to speak to spirits, and that, like I said to Nicole, you don't always have to be meditating, and
No,
you know,
yeah, I know that. I mean, my mom is Lori. You've talked to her plenty of times.
sure,
Because she's a medium and all that as well, right?
sure, yeah,
And it's my great grandma through her that is one of my spirit guides. You told me.
right, absolutely,
And my grandpa Lejean, I was pretty close with him as a kid, and well, he had passed away, and I missed him a lot.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
was just missing him, and I just wasn't sure if it was him or somebody else
No, it was
that night.
absolutely him, sweetheart, and he's with you a lot. He would love it if you just kept a running dialogue going with him, where you just kind of talk to him everywhere that you were, because he's with you so much that he would
Well,
really
considering
love it.
Mom said he's always with her as well, and I live with her and my stepdad. Yeah, that helps a lot, and I do talk to myself a lot he's around, whenever I just want to talk to him.
Absolutely. Do you ever talk to him, sweetheart? The voice you hear in your head sounds like him?
Oh, so many times,
That's
mainly in my dreams.
Sweetheart, that's him. Why, and this isn't about you, sweetie, and I'm not in any way criticizing you. This is just people in general. Why do we doubt that that's our loved ones when we're
I
having a
never doubt.
conversation with them and we hear them talk back?
I
That's him, sweetie.
Well, I know I don't doubt it. It's just I miss him. I miss talking like face to face with him, and just just being with him.
Yeah, I know,
Because
sweetie.
when he died, I didn't get a chance to say goodbye.
That's all. I know, sweetheart,
I
but
honestly, and my mom did get to see him before he passed, and it was just, I literally came to my parents' house to go to my sister's grad. And next thing we didn't even go because mom goes, Debbie, you need to sit down. Grandpa passed away. And I just, when I got home alone, I broke.
I know,
I just
sweetheart.
broke down because I had to be the strong one for mom and Zena
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I know. I know, babe. I know. But you got to
But
know how.
thank you for clearing.
Oh, are you kidding me? You got to know how much he loves you. And you have to know that he doesn't
Oh,
blame you at all, honey, for not being
oh,
there to when he died. He understands, and he doesn't once you're dead, none of that matters to you. Where there's
oh,
somebody,
I
because
know.
he knows that you're always thinking about him, and he knows how much you love him, and he knows that you two are always together, whether you're in the room with him or not, because you had such a special bond. So he doesn't think of it like, oh, she wasn't there when I died. He doesn't even think
Oh no,
about that.
he
'Cause-
had dementia at the time, so it hurt. But I also knew he's in a better place, right?
right, right. But you have to know,
So
yeah. Well, not only is it a better place, but when you have dementia, right? It's a physiological thing that's going on with your brain, but inside your soul doesn't have dementia. Your soul
no,
knows what's going on, and as you're passing, anybody who's passing, not just somebody with dementia, you're living in both worlds at once because you're making sort of you know how when you're moving from one house to the next, right? You're
yeah,
technically
or
not
in
you're
that state between sleep and awake.
right, you're technically not moved into the new house, but as it gets closer, you're spending more time in the new house than you're spending in your old house because you're moving more things over, staying there and fixing things up, spending more time there. That's what it's like when you're passing. So in the beginning, you're just kind of occasionally going home and coming back to your body. Then as the passing is getting ready to actually happen, you're spending more time in the spirit world than you are in your body anyhow. And in those times when he
Yeah,
moved into the spirit world, sweetheart, that's when he had no dementia. So he was very sentient about what was happening, and he knew where you were, and he knew why you couldn't be there. He knew all of it. He's fine with it. He's completely okay with it. He just wants you to be okay with it. That's his only thing,
well,
sweetheart. He just wants you to be okay.
yeah. I just even my grandpa Morley, I didn't actually get to say goodbye, so
Yeah.
it hurt. But I knew, you know what I mean. It hurt, but I knew I couldn't.
I know.
It was just. Also, I was meaning to ask this another time. You said everybody has an animal spirit guide, right?
Oh yeah, sure.
Would you know what mine are?
Oh, it's Animal Spirit
'Cause
Guide Day. Okay, so your animal spirit guide, one is a squirrel. So if you see squirrels all the time,
I see squirrels everywhere when I go for walks. Like I can get pretty close to them, and they just stay on the tree right near the
there
ground.
you go. I don't think I've ever told another human being your spirit guide is a squirrel before. That's kind of fun. I don't think anybody's ever asked me what their animal spirits were, and it was a squirrel. Let me see if I can think of the other one. The other one is an otter.
That makes sense. Oh my gosh,
So look up
that's
this. Yeah, just on your computer, just Google animal spirituality, and then Google first squirrel and then otter, and they'll tell you what they're about. And I honestly, I feel terrible that I don't know, but I don't know because I've never told anybody
playfulness.
squirrel or otter before. This is a very first time.
If I remember, otters are playfulness, um, caring,
Yeah,
sweet,
I know otters
and
mate for
squirrels,
life.
well,
So
energy.
there's a dedication there. I know otters mate for life. So there's a devotion to loved
Loyalty.
ones.
There's a loyalty there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, a squirrel would be energy, I think.
Yeah.
And, which makes sense because there are days I'll sit here and I have my foot going, and my parents are like, "Twitchy today?" And I'm like, No, duh.
Oh yeah. Do you come a little twitchy?
With my Asperger's, yeah, I do get twitchy if I'm bored or just have energy to burn and I can't exactly go outside due to weather or that.
Okay.
It tends to drive my parents nuts.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Because yeah,
Now, how are
just
you?
growing.
How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing with your Asperger's? How you feeling?
I've been doing it like ever since I got the proper diagnosis. I've been doing a lot better. Like I've been doing great with it, right?
Okay. Good.
And I mean, it's just mainly trying to get over the dreams of the bullying and everything I went through in elementary school because people were idiots in the 90s and
Right.
didn't properly didn't do any testing or properly examine me to find out what I actually had
Okay.
because I was diagnosed with bipolar at 6 years old by somebody who had no right to diagnose me. They were a child guidance counselor with no training in detecting that sort of stuff.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what the doctors ran with was bipolar.
Yeah. Isn't it a shame
So
how
by the time,
how
well,
ignorance spreads, right? Isn't that the sad thing, sweetheart? How ignorance spreads.
it is, and the thing is, from this one school I was in, from grade 2 up to grade 8, those were the grades throughout my entire time there that bullied me to the point that by 14 in grade 8 I was suicidal.
Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry.
People are people are idiots. I've only had 2 bullies actually apologize to me, but
Really,
you know what? They live their lives. I live mine.
good for you.
I'm pretty I'm pretty easygoing, so.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, I have this theory, and I
Mhm.
have lots of friends on the spectrum, and I teach occasionally acting and radio to a program where a lot of the folks are on the spectrum, and
Mhm.
or have Down syndrome, or different things. And I have this sort of theory, and my mom was a special ed teacher, and I don't even like the term special ed because it just makes it's just such a stigma with it that I don't like. But I sort of have this theory that as human beings are evolving, because we're a very new species compared to like the crocodile or the great white shark, right? I mean, we're a new species, that we're actually evolving in different directions, and at some point
Mhm.
we may actually split what we consider Homo sapien, maybe 7 or 8 different things. And so I tend to not think of the autism spectrum as, I don't like the word disability. I like the word different. I think you're just
Mhm.
energetically different. There's nothing wrong with you. You just energetically work on a different plane. And I think many
Well,
of us do in different ways. I think psychic folks do. I think artists do. I'm on the gifted spectrum. I think we do. I mean, we're all just 2 clicks away from wearing that foil hat forever. So, I think that seriously, my mama used to say, really smart people run the world. People as smart as us just try to spend our time not sitting outside the grocery store in a foil hat talking to Jesus. And and it's it's true. Although I do own a foil hat and I do sometimes talk to Jesus. So there it all came true. But I think that we spend too much time thinking about how different people are in a bad way and not how differences are
then in a
good.
good way.
Yeah.
And the thing is that tinfoil hat comment, I was laughing for a completely different reason.
Oh no, why were you laughing?
Let me put it this way. There's a fanfic I like to read for Transformers, okay?
Okay.
I am a Transformers fan.
Are you?
One
Okay.
of the fanfics, what they did is they did this psychic prank where they pretended they had like telekinesis to throw stuff,
Oh wow.
right?
Uh-huh.
But what it was nothing more than people joining in to prank Starscream and another character called Knockout.
Oh wow.
Okay. But here's the funny part. Those two, because they feared psychic powers, were wearing tinfoil armor, including the helmets.
It's fantastic. See?
And it was just this huge prank that just blew up without much prompting because they convinced themselves this person had psychic powers when they didn't.
That's fantastic. That's so awesome. That's so
It
awesome.
was funny. It was just funny because they kept trying to do the holy water and the rituals to purify them. And
Awesome. It's awesome. And I thank you. You are so wonderful. I appreciate your call. Thanks for being so honest and open when you're here, sweetheart. I think you're darling. And I hope you continue to call forever and ever. And thank you for being, as I said, just for letting me ask you some candid questions and for being so open and honest. I think that's wonderful. So you're the best. If you want to get on the air with us, it's so easy. Just send me a text, 818-437-0886. That's 818-437-0886. I notice that a lot of you are texting me now and you want to get on the air. And I think that's wonderful. And I want to get every single one of you on the air. However, I am trying to get my Skype to open up so I can end the call with Debbie and call somebody else. There we go. We got it. Look at that. All right. Thanks, Debbie, for the call. You're the best, my friend. All right. So here we go. Look at all these folks that want to get on the air. 818-437-0886. It was so cold when I got here, and now it's warm. So you know what that means? It means it's time to grab the air conditioner and turn it on. Hang on. You don't get this on every show. Look at that. You know, I was so actually cold when I got here. And I was worried that I was going to be too cold. And then all of a sudden, here comes the heat. So we just put the air conditioner on me. Look at how that works. How about them apples, folks? All right, so let's see who we've got next. And we're going to keep rolling here. If you don't make it on today, remember that you can always come and be on my 5 o'clock show because we'll be taking more people then. How exciting is that? All right, so we're going to get Alexis on with us now. And I know you ask a question, Alexis, but I'm going to ask you on the air. Otherwise, everybody has to sit here and just watch me read people's text messages. So, Alexis, I do not have you in the system. So we're going to put Alexis in the system, and then we're rocking and rolling. I know Alexis has done readings on my Facebook Live videos, but has not done one here. So, all right. So here we go, my friends. Let's get her in the system. And if you want to get on the air with me, it's so easy. How about this? So easy, my friends. We are putting the link up everywhere. Can you hear me in the background typing it in? Isn't that exciting? Oh my goodness, it did not just die on me. It did. It just took itself offline here. Hang on. I put my initials next to all my numbers in here so everybody knows who's mine. Because otherwise I wouldn't be able to find anybody. Because when you type in somebody's name in the Skype system or you type in their number, it gives you like everyone who's ever talked to them on Skype in the last year and every single one that exists in the world. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't need every Alexis that exists in the world. I just simply need the one Alexis. So here we go right now. All right, Alexis, I'm coming for you. Everybody do the Skype dance. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. I could listen to the actual thing because I sit here and sing it anyhow. We might as well just have it on. Oh, I think we got her. I'm just texting her to let her know we're calling her. Alexis, welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
Good. Thank you. Sorry that your thing died as I sent that request.
Oh no, is that no, it's totally okay. Is that weird? Yeah, it's just weird. Sometimes things just get weird, my friend. So how
Yeah.
are you? And thank you for calling. And how may I help you? And this is fun.
Well, first of all, I love your show because I love all the things that you do for people, and
Thank
especially the
you.
psychic thing,
Thank you, sweetie.
and your gifts. So I know I always ask a lot of questions, and I had a particular friend that um, had passed away in 2016, and I was supposed to see him, and I did not, unfortunately. But I always feel like he's around, but I don't really know what he's trying to say. And I always felt bad when I didn't get the chance to see him. And I was just wondering, I don't know what exactly he's trying to say, but I feel like he's trying to say something and I can't sometimes like make it up, but he had a big impact in my life, and I always just felt bad for not seeing him, and it kind of just was sitting on my shoulders forever. And I was just wondering what you could maybe get off of that, or if you could hear whatever he's trying to say or communicate, since you have the gifts of
Yeah,
all that.
sure, sweetheart. Um, tell me again how he contacts you.
Well, I feel like I've always kind of had like little gifts myself, not like a lot, but I've noticed that it's usually like dreams or physical feelings. Like I'll say something and I'll get like a weird cold feeling, or if
Okay.
I'm sleeping, I'll actually see like specific dreams that would happen with him in it that have never really happened in real life. It's just things that were random that he was saying to me.
Right.
So I don't know if that's maybe that or what, but it's really specific things that he would just appear in the dreams like randomly.
Yeah.
But it would
Yeah.
feel like he was like there.
No, no, that's absolutely a visitation, sweetie. He's with you a lot. I mean, he really is, and he's very much a protector and a watcher for you. Now, was he like that when you were alive? When he was
Yeah.
alive, was he very much your protector?
Um I guess so. Yeah. I mean, when we were friends, he was always like he would say I'm always here, and he was always there. And so I always assumed he was kind of like that, you know. I haven't had a lot of friends that were like that, but he would always make sure he was there for people that he was friends with. So I guess
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, he definitely meant it when he said he was there for you. And he means it now. Now that he's means it now that he's always going to be there for you. And he does watch out. I mean, he has not reincarnated. He's still at home and kind of very happy to be there. Did he have I'm trying to think of a gentle way to did he have some unhappiness issues when he was alive?
I don't know. I mean, he never told me, so I'm not sure. But
Okay.
I don't think if he did, I don't think he wanted anyone to know.
Yeah,
Like,
it feels like he had some serious issues with depression and and or anxiety. It manifested as depression, but it could have been anxiety. And
interesting.
um and overwhelm. He was a very spiritually gifted person himself.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Um
And is there, sorry, go
no,
ahead.
no, no. I think that's one of the reasons that he's so strongly it's easy for him to be so strongly around you. He was very much a gifted spiritual soul.
Interesting.
You didn't know that.
Was there anything like he wanted to say before he like passed away? There's a lot of unsaid things that I don't know if he ever wanted to say something, but I never got the chance to hear it if he did want to say anything
Yeah,
to me.
I mean, I think again, I think that he didn't convey enough how he felt about things because he had issues within himself. Did you have a like a thing before he died? Like a was there like a rift between you of some kind?
Like if like a feeling wise, like besides or what do you mean
I mean,
by that?
did you have like a I don't want to say like an argument, but was there like a distance between you?
Um, well, there was like a I think the last time I had talked to him, there was a weird, not like a weird thing. It was like maybe just a short little week of like not we didn't really say anything to each other, and I guess I got busy and he got busy, um and I wasn't upset, but I figured it was just on both of our parts. But that was all before he died, and I didn't um we didn't say anything, so I didn't know what happened. And then a few days after that, he had passed away
Yeah, he feels terrible about that.
for not saying anything.
Just that there was that period of time where yeah, that you weren't in touch around the time he died. Yeah, he feels terrible about that. We're now you I don't want to get into an area that's like super sensitive, but was there like more than a friendship to this?
Well, on my part, well, we were just friends, but I had feelings about him that I had never told him, and I, for some reason, just did not tell him, and I wanted to, but I just didn't, and I always felt that was like my fault for not saying anything, but he didn't have any idea that I wanted to say anything. But we were just friends. But I had a lot that I
Yeah.
kept from him.
He knew, well, he knows now. He didn't know then. He knows now, but he did have the same sort of feelings for you.
Did he ever like? Was that also the connection of feeling bad, not saying anything?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because it was like the relationship got to a certain point, and I think both of you knew that it needed to move past that.
Right.
But neither one of you knew the other one was up for it, and neither one of you wanted to lose the other one.
Right.
And then he was trying to think of a way to tell you when he died, but then died
Right.
before he could tell you, which I think then made him feel like he'd screwed it up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's funny. That's actually how I felt.
Yeah.
That exactly what you just said.
Yeah, you guys were in exactly the same boat. But this thing
Right.
inside of him, this depression, anxiety thing, sweetie, that's what held him back from being honest
Right.
about it because he just felt like there was no way that you were going to be into him because he didn't have a
Really.
high enough opinion of himself on the inside. You know,
That
even though
makes
he was
me
like
sad.
a really attractive guy and he didn't have any trouble getting people to be interested in him.
Right.
But in his mind, there he just didn't think it was a possibility.
Interesting. That makes me sad
It
because
makes me sad too.
yeah, because I think that about myself, what you're saying sometimes. So it's funny you said that because I think that sometimes.
Right. Well, that's what that's the tragedy of it, right? Is that you guys were in exactly the same boat
Right.
and yet you couldn't see it in each other. And that happens sometimes, sweetheart. That makes me sad because you guys had there's a real soulmate connection between the two of you. And I feel like the hole that he left in your life, you can't fill it. I mean, you've tried, but it's not being filled.
Right. Yeah, that's really how it is. Yeah.
And I think that that's okay, because you have to stop thinking about filling that hole and start thinking more about, this is a soul tie. I will see this guy again. This is a definite
Right.
connection that we have traveled from life to life with. And I am never going to replace him. But that's okay, because that's not what it's meant to be. It's not, I'm not meant to replace him. I'm meant to move on with my life and have a wonderful life and keep him with me in spirit and know that I will see him again. I think that's the thing. There are relationships in our lives, soul tie relationships, where you just aren't supposed to get over it. I mean, you're supposed to get over it to the point where it's not supposed to be impeding your life anymore. But
Right.
you're not supposed to get over it to the point where um you're supposed to forget about it. Even sometimes if you have a soul tie with somebody in this life and it just doesn't work out because one or the other person just can't come to the table in this incarnation. That happens all the time. People say, "When am I going to stop
Right.
thinking about him? When am I going to stop thinking about her?" And I'm like, "You're not. You're not going to stop thinking about
Right.
them." That's what a soul tie is. You just learn to put it in a place where it's not impeding your growth and it's not hurting your soul anymore. That's how you move forward.
Right. I have to ask you this one last thing.
Sure.
Does he, so I overheard you saying how you can talk to spirits out loud. You don't have to meditate and they can hear you.
Of course.
The times that I've ever like said what I felt out loud, like about him, was he like listening to that without really like being there
Uh-huh.
physically? Because there were times where I would say things out loud and I just never knew if he like really heard me, you know,
Of course. Of course.
actually saying it.
Yeah, of course. And he would like to do more of that. Find some
I mean,
time when you want to just be quiet somewhere. Burn a
right,
candle, take a bath, whatever it is, and just sit and talk to him
right,
and enjoy it. Enjoy being with him. He would love that.
right,
Um,
right.
I mean, he's saying like it's like dates. Let's, I'm not suggesting you date a spirit, but you know what I mean. It's quality
Yeah,
time. He would love that, and you don't need to be like in a meditative state or in a trance. I mean,
right.
I'm probably the worst medium in the world by telling you, oh yeah, have a talk with him yourself, because I'm like, most people are like, no, you must come to me. But I mean, I can give you a
Yeah,
different perspective. A lot of people don't trust that they can do it themselves. And a lot of people, because I can do
right,
an open channel communication, I can tell you a lot of stuff. A lot of people love that. But
right,
yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't sit down and talk to spirits yourself. And a lot of times it's what they're craving. I mean, it's what they want more than anything, is for you to do just that,
yeah.
you know?
Because I mean, it's weird because there have been times where I've said something and there would just randomly be like a dragonfly or something that would just like fly by, and it would be like
Sure.
every time I'd say something out loud about him. So I always
Sure.
wondered, was that
Yeah.
him like doing that, or was that just,
No, that's him.
you know,
Dragonflies are complete trans mediums. And dragonflies are also
yeah,
probably was a totem for him. I think if you look up, and this is like the animal totem day. I'm sure if you look up animal totem dragonfly, you'll find the spirituality matches him very closely.
right. Was there anything else that he like wanted to say, or just anything
No, I mean, he treasured
besides
you.
that?
You were his favorite person in the world. And he loved you. And he loved you in every possible way you can love someone. I don't know that I'm necessarily supposed to always talk about that on the air, but I think we're far enough into the conversation now that it's okay to be honest. In the beginning, when you were like, "What does he have to say?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." We're all, the guy was in love with you, and there's that unsaid, the thing with all the feelings were there, but it never came to fruition. So it's very
Right,
strong between the two of you. once you get into a relationship, then it all becomes like, who paid the gas bill and pick your underpants up off the floor. But but when it's
Right.
in that place where it never quite got there, and it's just in that beautiful
Right.
romantic, angsty kind of lovely place, that's where you two are kind of stuck in different worlds now. But
Right.
um but he wants the best for you. He wants you to have a wonderful life. And he wants you to really love somebody. He wants someone to love you in all the ways that he can't now. But he
That's
wants,
what's hard.
but he's saying don't ever
Yeah.
don't ever forget him. Don't forget him, because you'll be together again.
Right.
So, he wants you to go on, but he also wants you to go on, but don't go too far on, because don't forget about me.
Right. It is hard to be with someone after what you felt when they died,
Oh
you
God,
know.
yes. Sure it is, sweetheart. Yeah. It absolutely is. And you're
Well,
uh-huh.
I had wondered sometimes also, sometimes I like wake up in the middle of the night at specific times and
Uh-huh.
it'll just feel like somebody's like right there. Just like
Yeah. Yeah.
not sitting there, but just kind of like they want you to know they're there.
Sure.
So sometimes I wonder if that was like him hanging around or something,
Yeah.
or just being like, "Hey, I'm here." No.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just staring there looking at you like a stalker. Yeah, sure. Well, I just
Yeah.
think he feels so terrible that he never told you how he felt. And I think he feels
Right.
better now that I've told you. I think that's
Right.
opened him up a little bit,
Right.
you know?
Well, it makes me feel bad that he felt bad because I don't feel bad
Don't
that
feel
he
bad.
felt bad, you know.
Well, he feels bad because he felt like it was his responsibility to come out and tell you how he felt. And he
Right.
didn't. So he feels bad about that. That's where his feeling bad comes from,
Right.
you know?
Right.
That he very
Well,
much feels responsible
right.
for um he thought, because this is so silly, and he says he knows it's silly, he knows it's old fashioned, but he felt like he was the guy and he should have been the one to come out and talk about it. But
Really.
yeah, I mean, he thought it was his job. But he was too scared. He was sure you would reject him and then you guys wouldn't be friends anymore and then his heart would break.
Oh my God, this is the total opposite. That's literally
Yeah.
the opposite
He said there's no way
of what I would.
that she would have wanted anything to do with me, and then it just would have gotten weird and we couldn't have been friends, and then she would have felt uncomfortable around me, then she would have gone away, and then I wouldn't have had her even as a friend in my life, and I couldn't do that. So I just said nothing.
That's exactly why I didn't say anything. That's so funny you say that.
Mm.
That's exactly why I said nothing.
Yep.
How funny.
Yep. I'm so sorry, sweetie. Sometimes we just miss each other, right? Oh, I hate that story.
Yeah.
But sometimes we
Yeah.
just miss each other.
Yeah. Well, he was like I said, out of like all the people I ever met in my life, he was like that was like one of the best moments of my life was like to meet him and to feel that, by accident.
Yeah.
And I don't say that about a lot of people, but he was like, that person that I really am happy that I got to know and feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful, sweet. You have to be really focused on what a beautiful thing it was. You know? Did I lose you? And I lost her. It's strange. All right. You guys need to go have a talk now between the two of you. And I'm always here when you need me. So that was interesting how she just disappeared. So strange. Alexis, you take care of you. I'm thinking about you. Let me know how it's going. All right, everybody. All right, we're going to get Melissa on now. Remember, if you don't get on today, I'm back for 2 hours here by my lonesome back for 2 hours from 5 to 7 p.m., taking more of your calls, doing more of your readings. And if you sent me a text, I will text you back and let you know that. So, meanwhile, we're going to get Melissa in with us, and here we go. And you can always text me even between now and 5 o'clock. Just keep texting me. The sooner you get to me, the sooner you'll get on. So folks that are waiting from today to tonight will get first priority tonight. So get those. Oh, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Pew, pew, pew. Wee, wee, wee. There it is, the Skype song. Oh, no. I'm going to snap along with it.
Hello.
Hi, Melissa. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Now,
It's so good to finally talk to you. I
It's-
watch you all the time.
Thank you. It's wonderful to talk to you. Now, do I call you Melissa or Melissa Joe?
Melissa's good.
Okay, just check it. Because some people like their middle name included, and I want to make sure I do the right thing. So what's on your mind, my friend? I know you sent me something, but I'm on the air, so I didn't read it. So just tell me on the air, and then we'll
Sure.
get it all sorted out. I'm so glad you're here.
Okay. Thank you.
Tell me what's on your mind, my friend.
Sorry. I've been watching your show, so I'm already kind of emotional.
Oh, it's okay. You can be as emotional as you
I
want.
guess-
It's so safe here.
Yeah. Thank you. My best friend died about 6 years ago
So
in a
sorry.
car accident, and he had been my best friend, closest, dearest friend for 8 years, and introduced me to my ex-husband, and I always blamed him that it was his fault that I had my amazing, precious children that I have. And then he died suddenly, obviously in a car accident, and we had our first argument in that 8 years about 2 months before he died.
Oh,
We were
sweetie.
just getting back to that point of talking again. And I just feel like I got cut off on the only bad note in the entire relationship. And it's been 6 years, and I still spend a lot of time at the cemetery and talk to him all the time. And I want to know that he's okay, I guess, kind of the standard.
Yeah. No, he's totally okay, sweetie. He's very happy. He's much more worried about you. He said to ask you, "Are you okay?" He's worried that you're not okay. What's going on with you? Something
Yeah.
is going on with you emotionally right now that has him very concerned. What's going on?
Well, it probably has a lot to do with him.
Yeah.
I've struggled really hard to sort of get my life just back to where it needs to be. I'm divorced and living with my parents, and I have my kids 50% of the time, but it's a huge blow to me not to have them
Yeah.
100% of the time,
Sure.
like I did before the divorce.
Yeah.
And I think I feel like I lost, like I can't figure out quite who I am. And I'm getting to a place where I want to start to maybe move on, move out, move up, get on with my life. And I'm feeling so stuck, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I'm trapped here in this mourning that won't end.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what he said. He's just worried that you're not getting over what happened.
No, I'm not.
And he wants you to know that you have to. That he's gone, but he's not gone. That he still loves you, that he will always love you. That you shouldn't worry about the stupid argument because it doesn't matter. He doesn't care about any of that anymore. It's ridiculous. He says it was ridiculous in the first place, and it never should have happened.
Yeah, exactly.
But you had really deep feelings for each other, and so it was easy for you to sort of break each other's hearts in a way.
Yep.
And that everything just got too serious and too weird. And
Yeah.
he feels terrible that it happened when it happened. He had no idea. Obviously, had no idea he was going to pass.
Right. No.
and that he has tried to be with you at all times ever since then, but that he worries about you. He worries that you're not moving on. He worries that you're not happy.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
worries that your emotional health, like I said earlier, is not terrific, and that you're stuck in a
No.
place where you're not allowing your emotional health to grow and get better.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like moving on would be leaving him behind somehow.
Right. Right. And it's not. And he says it's not. He says that's exactly right. That's exactly what you think. But you're not leaving him behind
Yeah.
because he's not going anywhere. He's never going anywhere. He says he's not coming back at all until you come. But, and then
Yeah.
now he laughs and he says, "Well, it's not 100% my decision, but that's the plan." He said, "That's the plan." So the plan is he's going to stay and sort of become a guiding spirit for you. And he says, no offense to you, but you really need a guiding spirit, which I think is pretty funny. He says, you need
That sounds exactly like him.
you
He
need
would
some
always tease
guidance
me
right
and
now,
like,
and you need
what
to
would
be
you do without me?
exactly. You need some guidance, and you need to be guided. So,
Yeah.
and he just wants to be there for you. Um, but he says you have to let him in, and you have to let him help.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Because he says that you're not always letting him help.
No.
Does that make sense?
It makes so much sense. I'm kind of overwhelmed and speechless, but that I could never have. I imagine all of the things that I know he would want for me, and I know he wouldn't want me to just be in this space continually. And I feel like I hear him all the time, but I couldn't have imagined him like that's exactly what he would say, but I couldn't have thought that up for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. He says in some ways that you were closer to him than you were to your husband.
Oh, yep, 100%, absolutely.
Um,
I always called him my soulmate, just sort of jokingly.
but it was true.
Yeah, it was.
In many ways, and for him too, was very much true. I mean, one of the things he's perfectly happy not being alive, but one of the
Mhm.
things that upsets him about not being alive is that he's not with you. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
He hates
I
that
miss
part.
him.
But he says you have to move on, and you've got to. You're no longer in that marriage, right?
Nope.
Yeah. He says you have to move on and you have to meet somebody, and that maybe if you're really lucky, he says you'll maybe even meet somebody as cool as him. And now he's laughing.
Oh my gosh, that's so him.
You know.
Thank you so much.
So let's talk really quick before I let you go.
Mhm.
What's your
Yeah.
plan? What's your next step? Because he wants to know. What's your next step to starting to get better?
I have some plans that I'm excited about. I need to get a better paying job, which I need to just go for. I'm holding myself back in that department as well.
Okay.
But I have an opportunity to get a much better job, and I need to go for it and take
Okay.
it and figure out a place of my own, just me and my kids. And I'm kind of thinking I want to get an RV and travel on the weekends with the kids and take them to fun places within a certain proximity from here, and educational and fun places, and spend the next 10 years just spending every moment I can with my kids before they grow up and graduate and get on with their lives.
Beautiful. Beautiful. But now, what about feeding your own heart?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'm really bad at relationships, and I'm not sure what I do wrong. I know I'm a great catch, but I don't know how to. I guess I get scared. I thought I would be married forever. I also thought Mikey would never not be in my life,
Yeah.
and I have like a self-doubt that all the things that I was so sure of, I was wrong about, and so it's hard to
Yeah.
have confidence, I guess.
Yeah. I think you just picked the wrong people. I think with your
Yeah.
ex, and Mike's agreeing. I think with your ex, it seemed like the right thing to do because he was so close to Mike, and
Mhm.
it seemed like you could keep everything all in the family. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Keep the
Uh-huh.
gang together. Seemed like a good person to be your
Right.
husband since they were such good friends. And it wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't the right reason to get involved with somebody.
No.
So, um it wasn't the best thing from the start.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that it's all worked out like it should because we get along. All of us get along really well. But I would like to find a partner, definitely.
Yeah.
I've been alone for a long time, and
Yeah. And he
and
wants that for you.
I'm okay. I'm okay with being alone. Like I feel like I could actually comfortably and happily be on my own without a partner and just
Of
enjoy
course.
my kids and have my hobbies and my work. Um, but deep down, I really would like to have a partner.
Yeah. And you will, honey. You will. It's not over for you.
That's good to know.
Are you feeling better than when you called? I don't ever want to let anybody go when they're
Yes,
still in tears.
no, absolutely. That was incredible. Thank you.
I'm so
I feel
glad.
like I genuinely um, can move on maybe and have a little bit of peace
Good.
and know that it's not going to be leaving him behind to do
Good.
that.
Good. And have talks with him. This is my whole I know
Yeah.
my whole thing today is have talks with him. But
Uh-huh.
he's one of the great loves of your life.
Yeah,
And he's still
absolutely.
around and he's still accessible, and he wants to be with you always. So, have a
Oh,
talk with him.
well, thank you so much.
Absolutely, my friend. You take care, and thank you so much for the call. And I'm always here when you need me. So, um, thank you. If you want to get on the air, 818-437-0886. That's 818-437-0886. Why is it telling me that this is an invalid number? I have no idea. Because sometimes Skype, folks, it's just a little evil. There's kind of Skype is your crazy ex-girlfriend or boyfriend. There is a very evil side to Skype. So we have to do it a different way. Sometimes Skype says, no, you can't put that contact in. Okay. So here we go. We have to use the dial pad. Oh, I know what I did. Wait a minute. I know what I did. Heather, we're coming for you. If you're watching, you're next. And I do know what I did, and it's my fault. So I got it. Well, it's Skype's fault for being your crazy ex-girlfriend, but it's my fault for not behaving in the way that one should and for putting a phone number in an improper way that is offensive to the gods of Skype. All right, here we go. There we go. There we go. Heather, we're coming for you, baby. Okay. One second. Okay. Here we go. This is fun, you guys. I know we're getting close to the end, but you know what? I've got a whole nother show coming up for 2 hours. Yay. Yay. Meanwhile, we're going to get Heather on and talk to her right now. Heather, welcome to the show, my
Hello.
friend. Heather, welcome to the show, sweetheart. How are you?
Oh, hi. Thank
Hi.
you. I'm great.
Great. Thanks for picking up the phone. I know it's weird because Skype calls you from some funky number. Skype's insane. It's like your crazy ex, right? They're like, you don't want to pick up the phone? I'll just call you from a number you don't recognize. Everything about Skype is insane.
No.
It's so great to hear your voice. How
You
may
know
I
what?
help you?
I knew it was you.
See, you're psychic too. That's awesome.
Woo!
How may I help you, my friend?
Well, I don't know. I just been kind of the transition into like all these like new energies and anything. I didn't know if you could maybe like see some like messages that
Yeah, sure.
maybe my ancestors are trying to get to me, and maybe I'm a little too stubborn or whatever to get on my own.
Not stubborn, sweetie. Just it's hard for us to see our own path. It's even hard for me to
True.
see. I've had to train myself to see my own path, and it's taken, 50 years. I mean, I've always, when I was, 8, 9 years old, I was on the playground, like helping other children with their lives. But it's taken me that long to be able to really get a grip on mine, and still not always. So you don't have to ever feel
No.
bad about that. And anybody who's watching, it's almost impossible to read yourself. I think if you could, you wouldn't need to be here. If you could, we would be born with our whole soul consciousness from all our lives instead of having our odometer reset every time we pop out the birth canal.
Oh
So,
my gosh, that makes so much sense.
so you are in a huge shift, my friend. And it sort of feels like you're standing on shaky ground, right? Like your footing's not grounded because everywhere
Absolutely.
you go, things almost that used to feel normal now feel foreign to you. And
Yep.
and it's really just it really is, sweetheart, just this shift but you have to always remember, Heather, that as you're growing out of things, you're growing into other things. That's a very important thing to remember, that you're
Okay.
shifting out of an old consciousness and you're shifting into a new consciousness.
Okay.
And I say that only because, honey, I don't want you to feel like you're going to lose anything or your life is never going to be the same. It is never going to be the same, but in a good way. One of the stumbling blocks that you're having along the way is that you don't put enough faith in yourself. It's like you make a decision, but then you don't trust it. You're always worried that you've done the wrong thing and you second guess yourself, and that has sort of slowed this transition up a little bit because it's like you're like 2 steps forward and 1 step back because you just don't have the belief system in yourself. You're the first one to believe in other things, in people, in things you're passionate about, in your spirituality. But when it comes to you, you doubt everything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And that's okay. You have a right to. We as human beings, one of our innate rights is to doubt and question everything. And I always say to everybody, first, question everything. But secondly, once you get the answer, stick with it, because Spirit is sending you the answer every time that you're doing the right thing. You're okay. You're on the right track. You're doing great, kid. Everything's fine. You're the one that continually doubts it because you just don't
Right.
have that faith in you.
No, I have imposter syndrome really bad. Even
Yes.
though I've accomplished a lot, but I'm like, oh my God,
Right.
I'm gonna mess it up.
Exactly. I'm not good enough for that. What am I thinking?
Right.
There's no way. There's no way I'm good enough for that. That's not for me. Yeah. And
Right.
it is. These things that the universe are sending you, sweetheart, these are 150% things that are for you. And only for
Right.
you, you know?
Right.
So you have to have a serious talk with yourself when that behavior starts and say,
Okay.
you know what? That's that thing I do again. That's that imposter weirdness. We're having none of that. Even like Sheena said, none of that. and
None of
stop
that.
it, because I want to see this transition go quickly, and I want to see it go smoothly. And also
Okay.
because of the imposter syndrome, and I love that you use that term, and because of the doubt in yourself, right? You're
Right.
you fear what this transition will bring. Like, oh my God, am I on a highway to hell? Like you worry, like, well, was this going to be a train wreck? What is this whole thing going to be about? And transition
Right.
is hard anyhow, because your transition, sweetheart, is very much an ascension. You're growing up and you're growing out of some things in your life. Sadly, that's what ascension is. You're growing into other things in your life. And it's not just it's interesting because it's a spiritual transition and a three-dimensional transition at the same time. So things are really
Okay.
transitioning and are in flux in your real world life, your three-dimensional life, but also spiritually you are transitioning and ascending. So
Yes. Okay.
having to deal with both of those at the same time, those don't always come at the same time. It's a lot to wrap your head around. It's a lot of changes, it's a lot of movement. I mean, you must feel like that scene in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, right, where they're on those boats and they go through that tunnel and all the lights are flashing. It starts moving faster and faster. I mean, that must feel like, because the more you transition, the more speed you build up to continue the transition. You actually energetically fuel it, and then it starts moving faster if you're not always going, wait, and putting the brakes on it, which you do sometimes. And the thing is, I know you really want this transition. I know in the long run that all of this stuff is good for you. You're
Yes.
just scared of it. It's the unknown, the fear of the unknown, of where is it, and the not having the trust in yourself to know that you are taking yourself and spirit is guiding you to a much better place.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's exactly me. I mean, I even do that when I snowboard. If I go too fast, I'm like, wait, I'm going too fast. What if
Right.
something happens? And then I put my brakes on.
Right. Yeah. Stop putting the brakes on. Fly down
Okay.
that hill
Okay.
like you want to, because when you're on that snowboard, you want to fly.
Yes.
You don't want to brake,
True.
and you're tough enough to fly. And the truth is, you could have an accident going slow and die.
Yeah. Yeah. The one time I did have an accident, I was going slow.
Yeah. You can wipe out horribly going slow.
Well,
Or you
no,
could
that makes sense.
or you could just not ever snowboard again, and you could be in your car and somebody could run a red light and slam into you, and it'd be way worse than a snowboarding accident.
True.
So
True.
we
No.
can't
No.
spend our whole life trying to avoid danger. Now, you don't do stupid things, right? You don't cover
No.
cover yourself in gasoline and light a match on fire. Go, what does this do? You don't put your finger in the socket. I mean, you know what I mean? We've hopefully
Yeah.
evolved. Some human beings, I have to say, as a codicil, have evolved out of those kind of stupid errors. But you can't live in fear all the time, baby, or you're never going to get the real awesome life that spirit wants you to have. And that's for all of you listening tonight. If fear stops us from having what we should have, and we all go through that. Fear stops us,
Okay.
and we're scared to leave behind what we have to leave behind, for fear that nothing will be waiting for us on the other side. And I don't mean like you're transitioning home to heaven other side. I mean on the other side of the transition. Like, well, what if I give up this job and there's not even a better job? Or what if I get out of this toxic relationship and then nobody ever loves me again? Or, what if I
Right.
do these health changes and then I get sick because I did the health change? Like everything has a fear waiting at the end. And I think most of us wrestle with that. Every once in a while you run into a person who just, is like the honey badger and just doesn't give a shit and has no fear in that respect. And they just do everything and seem to be fearless. Honey, I got to tell you, that's not me. So I'm
No,
an
me neither.
overthinker. I'm a worrier. I worry about what's going to be. I've trained myself out of that after decades of stressing myself to the max, because I was always worried about, but what if, but what if I get there and it's worse than it is here? But what if,
Right. No. Oh my gosh. You're
You're so on point.
We could
Wish I
all
was the honey badger though.
we could all
Seems
take a
seems a
master
lot more
class
fun.
from the honey badger in some ways. I think
Seriously.
I think the bad actions of people this year have turned me into the honey badger. Now I'm like, you know what? Whatever. Take your best shot. Because sometimes those things do happen, but they happen because those are the elements that aren't supposed to be in your periphery anymore. Sometimes you do
Right.
lose people when you ascend because guess what? They don't know how
Yeah.
to ascend and they're pissed because you ascended. So let them stay
Yeah.
and, bottom feed like the tilapia and live off the other fish's excrement, and you go do your thing. And you
Yeah.
can't let those people drag you down. You can't let those worries drag you down. Those are all the demons we fight every day. And once you get that, and I can tell that when we hang up today, you're going to already be at least 10% better than you were before this phone call, if not more. Once you
Yeah.
have
I can already feel that.
the bravado to let some of that fear go, this transition is going to be much less angsty and anxiety inducing because you don't, that the only thing to fear is fear itself. And that is so true. You don't need to fear this. The fear of this is what you're fearing, not the actual transition, because you're getting rid of a lot of stuff in your life that you don't need anymore. And a lot of that means people and energies and things, things that take up your time. And you're moving into a much better place of more happiness and more prosperity and most importantly, more faith and belief in you. And that's the biggest thing that you need.
Oh, that'll be great.
And I am totally out of time, but I thank you for the call. Send me your email so we can stay in touch. Text it to me. And let's all stay in touch. Anybody who wants to text me their information or wants to get on and back at 5 o'clock again Pacific time, doing this all again, 818-437-0886. Send me that text. I love that text. In the meantime, my crystals class, which will teach you how to use crystals for more cleansing, grounding, connecting, uplifting, healing, balancing, empowering, protecting, endearing, and harmonizing. And it, maybe even as a singer. We haven't established that yet. Please go to meetthecrystals.com and sign up for that class. Also, all of you empaths out there, my empath awareness class is at whydoifeeleverything.com, and my narcissist protection class is at starvethedark.com. We didn't have one single call today about narcissists. Is that like a show record for me? That almost never happens. Usually everybody who comes to me needs help getting away from narcissists. I'm available for private sessions always. Text me, 818-437-0886, or email me, Sheena at IamRaisingYourVibration.com. IamRaisingYourVibration.com is my spiritual hub. Also, Sheena Metal Spiritual is where my new site will be. I'm the founder of IamRaisingTheVibration.com and RaisingTheVibration.org, a nonprofit movement of peace, love, kindness, and unity. And I am also the proud participant in two wonderful paranormal and spiritual web series. We are livingwiththedead.com and we are altered.com, altered like a church altar. And October 12th, that's my Saturday night spiritual interfaith service at the Founders MCC Church. If you're in Los Angeles, please come. If you're not in Los Angeles, please watch it online, SaturdayNightSpiritual.com. So much more is going on, but I have to end the show. I love you all. Thank you for being here. I always end with this, and I will tonight. Seek peace, live in love, lead with kindness, and always, always, always raise your vibration. And then also remember this, okay, from today. People that don't get you, don't get you. If they don't get you, they just don't get you. And you don't have to worry about them anymore. And then also, I think our motto for this show, right? More cool stuff, less crappy shit. So is that what it was? More cool stuff, less crappy shit, I think. All right. No, less sucky shit. More cool stuff, less sucky shit. Live that today. That's awesome. All right. I love you all. It's a Haunted Playground right here on LA Talk Radio. And you know what happens here, my friends. I know you do. I know you do. every Tuesday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Psychic readings, energetic healing, spiritual counseling, all your paranormal and psychic questions, and all things spooky, scary, psychic, and spiritual. I'm your host, Sheena Metal. Till I see you next time. You know I love you. Find me on social media at Sheena Metal. Stay spooky, stay spiritual, raise that vibration. You all mean so very much to me.
Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.